Welcome back, family. We here with another NFO episode, and we are up at Sweeney Todd's studio. It's gorgeous in here. The vibes are immaculate, and we've got Defcee sitting with me today. How you feeling?
I'm good. I just rapped some raps, so I feel incredible.
Doing your promo?
Yeah.
And talk about rapping some raps. How was, what was it, Friday night?
Last night, actually.
Last night? Okay.
Yeah,
How was that?
It was amazing.
That was your 20th anniversary party.
It wasn't my 20th anniversary.
Okay.
So there's an underground rapper from Chicago named Robust, who's from like a whole generation of rappers that I kind of came up on. People like Typical Cats, Vakil from the Moment Crew, and he invited me to come rock. I was performing there, AM Early Morning, who I know has been on here before. He was rocking. Shout out AM. Rufus was in the building. I Am God tore it down last night. It was a stacked lineup. It was a stacked lineup. It was dope.
Yeah, I was checking out everybody's Instagram stories, and I'm like, damn, that shit was lit last night.
Yeah, it was. And it was crazy because it was like the 20th anniversary of an album that I think people who are from outside of Chicago would not typically celebrate.
Okay.
Because they're not as aware of it, because it was released independently in like the mid-2000s when there were a lot of independent hip-hop albums being released, but it was packed in there.
Yeah,
and there were a lot of legends in there too.
It did
so
look
it was
like
beautiful. It
and
was
then
a beautiful evening.
I also noticed that you performed at the Renaissance show.
I did.
That was extra lit.
Yes, yeah, nah, that was insane. That was insane.
How was that for you?
It was great. It was an honor to be included in that lineup of really some of the most talented,
dope-ass artists.
Yeah, some of the most talented rappers in the city right now. And it was, I just was very honored that Water asked me to be a part of it. Yeah. And it was packed. Like at a certain point,
I heard it was hot in there.
It was incredibly hot. And at a certain point,
thing, though.
It is true. That's true. It's true. And then at a certain point, somebody started using me as like a wall for some sort of like informal VIP. They were hiding behind me. I was like a bouncer in a wall simultaneously. But yeah, it was an amazing evening, and I was really grateful to be a part of it. And I think it is going to kickstart some really beautiful community building in Chicago hip hop.
You know what? I was watching it because Chance was there. So I had like, when I woke up that next morning after that Renaissance show, my Instagram feed was just the show. Like everybody was there, and it was just like totally popping at that moment. So I think what you just said is 100%. Yeah, I can definitely see that. That's a beautiful thing.
It is. And I think it's because I think for a long time, especially considering the size of Chicago and the kind of talent that we have here, there was an expectation that somebody from outside of the city was going to come to the city and build up this sort of industry infrastructure on an independent level that places like New York and LA have, places like Atlanta have. And I think, honestly, it's in the hands of the artists. Like, we're all we have in terms of supporting one another when it comes to hip-hop in Chicago.
Between everybody, all the artists that I've seen.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is, like, it's not even networking because you're just nerding out about things that you love with like-minded individuals, right? Because I think regardless of what you rap about or your background in this, I think all of us we care very much about rapping well. And
I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive about my shit.
Absolutely. So to be able to like build with that many like-minded people and to start to build something sustainable at a point in time where we don't have to worry about major labels trying to short us on percentages or having to work through them to distribute our music. Like, we can cut out the middleman and just support one another. And I think that was far. Yes, absolutely. That's more sustainable than us expecting somebody else to come in and put us on for a check and then leave once we're no longer useful to them.
Right. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Because I love the independentness of just like of everybody. I mean, even just working with Chance and NFO and just meeting a bunch of other people who are just doing other shit on their own, and then being able to come together and do, collab like you've been saying. So I think that's beautiful. I love that.
I think so too. And I also think that, one of the issues in terms of Chicago's place in hip hop history is that there isn't enough documentation of it.
Agreed.
So like, whether that's textual documentation or visual documentation, like all we pretty much have to go by is the music and the credits related to the music and the liner notes. So I think it's really dope that spaces like what Chance has created with NFO and pulling in people like yourself to interview artists and have these larger conversations is incredibly important to how sustainable this new era of independent hip hop in Chicago can be.
And that's what me and Mose were just talking about in his interview, where like Chicago, outside of Chicago, we get a bad rep. Yeah. And like there's so much more to what we've got going on, and I just think it's so awesome for everybody to just come together and like spread out what we're really about.
Absolutely. And I also think, you know, the other thing that I feel like the next thing that we can do is start to pull in, like there are a lot of really talented young drill rappers from here that take their rapping as seriously as we do. And I think that there's an opportunity for mentorship there as well. And I think there's an opportunity to bridge that gap too. But first, I think we got to solidify what it is we do, like the kind of rap music that we come from. And then at a certain point, once we're able to set that example, right. And then once we set that example, we can start pulling people in, because then that success is going to be proof that if you just...
It's working.
It's working,
yeah.
Right? Absolutely, absolutely.
For sure. All right, well, what can we look forward to you in 2024?
My album with Golden Beats will be out on Closed Sessions sometime before the end of spring. And the letter of the day is L, sometime before the end of the year. So shout out to Closed Sessions, shout out to RTC, shout out to Chance, NFO, shout out to you guys and the whole crew just for really putting on for us today.
Hell yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, let the people know where they can find you at.
At DEFCEE on Twitter and Instagram, at DEFCEE on Twitter and Instagram. But I do teach high school for a living, so if you are one of my students, So if you are one of my students and you have stumbled upon this video, do not follow me on social media.
Nope, no students.
Nah, please don't, please don't. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you.